Can Airtel's 6,000 crore bet in data centers deliver 16% growth when Telecom barely manages 5 to 7%? Here's what you need to know about Nxtra, the hidden asset that could transform your Airtel investment. So is this a smart move to capture India's digital future or a very risky bet? Let's find out. This is the story of how a big telecom company is trying to build the main support for Digital India, one huge, buzzing warehouse at a time. And the real question is not just if they can do it, but what will happen if they fail. To understand why Airtel is making such a huge bet, you just have to look at the digital boom happening all around us. India is seeing a digital gold rush, a boom so big it's hard to even imagine. Think about it. Every time you stream a movie, hop on a video call, post a photo, or make a digital payment, you're creating data. And all this data needs a place to be stored. India's data usage is shooting up thanks to the nationwide 5G rollout, an explosion of online services, and the government's push for a digital-first economy. The Indian data center market was valued at over $9 billion in 2024 and is expected to reach nearly $22 billion by 2030, growing at a super fast pace of over 15% every single year. But here's the interesting part. For all the data we are creating, India has not had enough data centers. We create a lot of the world's data, but we store only a very small part of it here. This gap is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity that everyone wants to grab. For a company like Airtel, this is both an alarm bell and a golden opportunity. The old business of just selling SIM cards and data plans is getting very competitive. The growth is slowing down. They need a new source of growth. And for Airtel, that new source looks like a data center. But here's what most investors are missing about this opportunity. It's not just about storage, it's about who controls India's AI future. This brings us to Nxtra. So what exactly is a data center? In simple terms, they are secure, physical buildings filled with thousands of powerful computers that store and process the information powering our digital lives, from your emails to the entire Netflix library. It's like being a landlord for the digital world. Companies like Google and Netflix pay rent to house their data, and once they're in, they rarely leave, creating a source of steady recurring revenue. And Nxtra by Airtel is already a big player in this field. They operate India's largest network of data centers with 12 large hyperscale facilities and over 120 smaller edge data centers spread across 65 cities. This network gives them a big advantage from the start. But an advantage isn't enough. The game is changing. The coming of artificial intelligence has created a never-ending hunger for computer power. AI needs much more powerful servers, and they use 7 to 8 times more electricity than normal ones. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a whole new league. Airtel sees this coming. They are investing up to 6,000 crore rupees in Nxtra to more than double its capacity to over 400 megawatts. And they are already the first data center company in India to use AI to run their own centers, which makes them smarter and saves energy. Airtel might be a big player, but it's not the only one in this race. This multi-billion-dollar opportunity has attracted some of India's biggest companies, making it a battle of giants. First, there is the Adani Group. Through their joint company Adani Connects, they are expanding very fast. Their biggest move is a partnership with Google in Visakhapatnam, where Adani is the main partner for Google's huge AI data center campus, an investment of over $15 billion. Interestingly, Nxtra by Airtel is also listed as a partner in this huge project, showing how complicated things are, with companies competing and also working together. Then there's Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries. They have announced plans to build what could be the world's largest AI data center in Jamnagar, Gujarat, aiming for an unbelievable 3 gigawatt capacity. Powered by its own green energy and packed with the latest chips from NVIDIA, this move is designed not just to compete, but to completely control the market. And there are more. The Tata Group has also entered. There are global companies like NTT and fast-growing Indian companies like Yotta Infrastructure. They all see the same opportunity and are investing billions in these digital forts. The challenges are not just from competitors. Building data centers is extremely expensive. Finding and buying large pieces of land in top locations like Mumbai, India's data center capital, is a big problem. And then there's electricity. The need for power for AI is expected to shoot up, which could put a lot of pressure on the country's power supply. Airtel is not just in a race to build, it's in a race against powerful rivals and big infrastructure problems. Now here's the part that directly affects your Airtel investment. Because if Nxtra fails, it's not just 6,000 crore rupees lost, it's Airtel's entire growth story. So let's come back to the big question. Is Airtel's 6,000 crore rupee bet a brilliant move or a huge risk? First, let's see why it could be a brilliant move. Nxtra has a special, almost unfair advantage, its parent company Airtel. A data center is useless without a high-speed internet connection. Airtel already has a huge fiber optic network across the country, the exact kind of network that data centers need to work. This combination of network and data center is their secret weapon, a powerful mix that few competitors have. The Google project in Visakhapatnam is the perfect example. Airtel's role is not just through Nxtra, its business division is also providing important internet connections, creating a complete package for a global tech giant like Google. This is what makes them different. Plus, Nxtra already has existing customers and is serious about being eco-friendly. They recently became the only data center company in India to join the global RE100 initiative, promising to use 100% renewable energy. In today's world where big tech companies care a lot about the environment, this is a big plus point for them. Now, let's look at the risk. The biggest risk is the huge size of the competition. While Nxtra wants to reach 400 megawatts, Reliance is talking about 3,000 megawatts. The money being spent by Adani and Tata is massive. There's a real risk that if everyone builds too many data centers, there won't be enough demand. This could lead to price wars and lower profits. Airtel's leaders have clearly said that they want to be a top player in the market. This aggressive approach means they might have to lose money in the short term to gain a bigger share of the market in the long run, a risky plan that uses up a lot of cash. This is a high-risk game and Airtel is betting that it can last longer than its rivals who have a lot of money. So if Airtel's bet is successful, the rewards could be huge and change the company completely. Let me show you what 16% growth versus 8% growth means for your money. If you invest 1 lakh rupees in Nxtra, growing at 16%, you'll have 1,81,664 rupees in 4 years. The same amount in Airtel's Telecom business at 8%, only 1,36,049 rupees. Getting a top spot in a market that is expected to be worth between $21 billion and $27 billion would be a massive win. Nxtra's business could one day become even bigger and more profitable than Airtel's main telecom business. Success means Airtel changes from being just a company that gives us phone connections to a company that owns the basic foundation of India's entire digital world. They would become the landlord for the world's biggest tech companies and the powerhouse for the country's AI revolution. This isn't just about finding a new way to make money. It's a strategic move to a business with better profits and more loyal customers. Once a big company puts its data in your center, it's very hard and costly for them to move out. This gives stable long-term income that investors really like. By 2030, it is expected that Bharti Airtel, Reliance and Adani Connects will together control 35 to 40% of India's total data center capacity. Nxtra's success is very important for Airtel to remain in that top group. This is a long-term growth story for many decades, not just a short-term trend. But the road ahead is full of challenges, from tough competition to the need for huge amounts of money. Airtel has made its bet. Now everything depends on how well they can execute their plan. They aren't just building data centers, they are building the very platform on which Digital India will be built. So should you buy Airtel for Nxtra? Here's my verdict. For existing shareholders, the Nxtra story provides a compelling reason to hold. Selling now would mean walking away from what could be Airtel's most significant growth driver for the next decade. While the core telecom business provides stability, Nxtra is the high-growth engine that could unlock substantial future value. For new investors, buying Airtel stock no longer is just a bet on telecom. It's an investment in the core infrastructure of Digital India. If you have a long-term outlook and can tolerate the risks of a hyper-competitive market, then Airtel offers a unique way to gain exposure to the data center boom, backed by its strategic advantage of its massive network. But this isn't a blind buy. You must watch 3 things very closely. First, Nxtra's ability to win major new clients, especially global tech giants, which validates their quality. Second, their progress in expanding capacity towards the 400 megawatt target. Execution is everything. And finally, keep an eye on their profit margins. An aggressive price war with giants like Reliance and Adani could hurt profitability, and that will be the key sign of whether this massive gamble is paying off. If you found this Nxtra deep dive helpful, smash that like button. It helps other investors discover this analysis. And if you want to know which other Airtel hidden assets could unlock value, I've analyzed their tower infrastructure business in the next video. Link in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss it.